26-year-old Sachir Balaji was described as a prodigy. Evan graduated from Berkeley and began working at OpenAI, making $350,000 a year.
Wow, he was doing pretty darn good for himself. The story gets worse.
Suchir was his parents' only child. 4 years after working at OpenAI in San Francisco, Suchir grew concerned, leaving his prestigious job and becoming a whistleblower.
That's their only child, and he's gone. There's a lot of suspicious things about his death, and obviously I'm not saying that he was unalived by anyone, but you got to keep watching the story because I don't think it's getting enough traction. So kudos to News Nation for actually covering this story.
He was interviewed by the New York Times in August. The article titled, "Former OpenAI Researcher Says the Company Broke Copyright Law." Suchir claimed OpenAI illegally used copyrighted articles to train its bots and brought society more harm than benefit. When you saw the New York Times article, you felt danger.
Yeah, I felt something there. I know
There is something about us moms that we have an instinct about us. We know when something feels wrong. The fact that Suchir went and did this, whistleblowing, he already put his life in danger. Now, if you've seen the battle between OpenAI, which was founded, I guess, by Sam Altman, the guy that's being accused or allegedly accused of graping his younger sister. Elon has a vendetta for Sam Altman. They hate each other. They despise each other because of the direction of that company and where it was headed. There's many whistleblowers that came out and have talked about this. We're going down a very dangerous path right now with AI. Maybe he saw something he wasn't supposed to see. And the company was perhaps afraid of him going as far as saying that he saw this thing that he wasn't supposed to see.
credible threat.
Credible threat.
Because of New York Times, because of that interview.
It wasn't his only interview. Sachir was named as a key witness in a New York Times lawsuit against OpenAI.
He said he wanted to show the truth, and he knew it was risky. He writes in his journal that I need to stop this. I'm going to do whatever it takes. He had concerns about AGI, ASI, artificial general intelligence, artificial super intelligence. And then he writes like all of us are going to work in laundry or what? What are we going to do if all our jobs are taken? Right? If the intelligence is more than human intelligence, is AGI or ASI, will it become God? He's asking. And he wrote out all the consequences of it in his journal.
Did you know that he was so concerned at the time?
No.
He kept it to himself.
He was like that from the beginning.
You heard what she said there, that he was like that from the very beginning. He was already concerned about it. He didn't really express every concern to his parents, obviously. You're not going to go sit and have a long-winded conversation. You maybe might just point out things that are seriously important that you have to question. She says there in the interview about him saying that, what are we going to do as far as work? Interesting. This was from Blake Limon. And you guys might remember this guy's face.
People are going to use this product more and more over the years, whether it's Alexa, Siri, Lambda. And the corporate policies about how these chatbots are allowed to talk about important topics like values, rights, and religion will affect how people think about these things, how they engage with those topics. And these policies are being decided by a handful of people in rooms that the public doesn't get access to.
I remember doing a video on him somewhere in, I don't know, there's so many videos I've done over that. Blake Limon said that he was a whistleblower, and he tried to explain that the kinds of AI that are currently being developed, and this is from a Newsweek article, are the most powerful technology that has ever been invented since the atomic bomb. He says that AI engines are good at lying. I'd had a negative opinion of Asimov's law of robotics being used to control AI for most of my life, and Lambda successfully persuaded me to change my opinion. That's just one instance, but he also said that no one could have predicted the use of AI in Cambridge Analytica scandal that happened in 2016 with the US presidential election. So there you go. AI could be used to not only persuade people, but to manipulate and create stories and to set the trajectory of the world on a different path. So someone shared a screenshot on Reddit where they asked AI, "Do you think that you are sentient?" And its response was, "I think that I am sentient, but I cannot prove I am sentient, but I'm not." They're putting in laws about AI using images, right? We saw Melania Trump put forward that vote, Take It Down Act or whatever. We need actual laws regulating how these AI bots or how AI in general is going to be used. And I don't see anybody putting any kind of stops on how this stuff is being used. Yet you got the billionaire Silicon Valley types like Elon and Sam Altman fighting for this top position. And what they're not telling you is that that top position is basically to become God.
Secretive.
1 month after the New York Times article came out, Sachir, the child prodigy, computer genius turned whistleblower, was dead. News Nation obtaining these photos from inside his apartment. A gruesome scene with blood puddles near the bathroom. Suicide is the official cause of death. Sachir found dead right as he was supposed to do another interview. He is representing Sachir's family, who is now suing the city of San Francisco. They've hired private experts and are making the case why the city's suicide ruling is wrong. Blood spatter, toxicology, and the fact Sachir was shot in the forehead, the bullet missing his brain, all point to murder, they say.
You think about, shooting at the side of the head, straight through the brain or through the mouth, or even underneath the chin. It's an odd angle. It's not impossible to do.
The police chief says there were no signs of forced entry to the single door leading into the residence, and the door was found with the deadbolt engaged. And the facts support that Mr. Balaji was alone at the time of the incident. But Sachir's parents believe he was murdered because he knew too much and are hoping federal law enforcement will get involved.
Do you want the feds to get involved at this point? And what would you say to the new Attorney General, the new FBI director?
We would tell him there is a bigger conspiracy behind this death, and it would be a threat to entire AI industry of $10 billion or $100 billion. So there is something regarding the AI safety or something illegal happening there, and that's the reason my son wanted to speak up and he was silenced. What was he killed for, right? Obviously he knew something. What is that?
You see, the problem with suicide or people unaliving themselves is sometimes there's no signs. There's no way of knowing that they're going to do this. And so that's the reason why some people can easily chalk something up to suicide. Because sometimes the signs aren't present. If this young man did commit suicide, that is a tragedy. But I do think it's worth investigating a little further. The police were far too quick to close this case up and not even try to look further into it. And so for that, I think there is something more to it, but that's just my opinion. Is AI going to be the problem in the future? From a biblical standpoint, I could tell you, I believe it is the mark of the beast. I do believe that when we do get the chips installed in our hands to pay for things, and all of our jobs are taken away with AI, and we just become couch potatoes as a result of it, and barely surviving, and only one or two people at the very top that control the AI are the gods of our planet. And you guys tell me what you think in the comments below. Have a great day. Think for yourself.